Hey everybody, welcome back to Rachel Reads. My name is Rachel. I love to read and write Christian fiction, and today I'll be reviewing 2 books. So I've done a few book reviews, but typically it is just 1 book at a time, but I'm doing 2 today because they're both by the same author, and this is an author that I've wanted to read for a while, and I finally got to read some of her books, 2 of them, and I want to talk about them. So that author is Mary Mecham, and I recently read Poisoned, and I just finished To Defy a Dream last night, and these were amazing books. So Poisoned I gave 4.5 stars, and To Defy a Dream I haven't ranked it yet, but I think I'm gonna give it maybe 4.5 or 4.75. Mary Mecham is a clean fairy tale retelling, mostly. Some of them are fantasy, but mostly a clean fairy tale retelling author, and she did amazing with these 2 retellings, and these are possibly my favorite version of these retellings because I haven't enjoyed previous versions, so these are just really good. The first one, Poison, is a retelling of Snow White, and typically Snow White, falls in love with the prince and gets poisoned and the prince saves her. Not exactly in this one. There's a great twist in this story that makes it different and sets it apart from the rest of Snow White stories that I've read, and I really enjoyed this one. Most of the time I'm not a big fan of Snow White retellings for different reasons, but this one I really enjoyed. Snow White was a great character. She was very humble, but at the same time she was able to grow in herself and in her confidence, and she really just loved people, which was amazing to see. And this book does have some disability representation, which I know is big for Mary Mecham. If you read the author's note and see a lot of the backstory behind Poison, you can kind of understand why, and I love the disability aspect. I thought she did really well showing what it's like for the person, but also what it's like for people caring for that person, and I really enjoy that part. There's a lot of family dynamics, which is super interesting to see. This is kind of like a Grumpy Sunshine. I love the romance. If you want my full content review, it is on my Goodreads. I'm not going to be discussing too much because in my opinion there wasn't nothing major to note, but if you do want to look for content, I do have it in my Goodreads review, so you can go check that out. But I really love Poison. The plot is really interesting. Right from the beginning, it starts you off in the action and you're automatically introduced to most of the characters, if not all of them, and it's so interesting. So many things happen and things unfold, and we see Snow, who is our main character, we see her grow in herself, and it's just really good. And I love the themes of this story. So Mary Mecham is a Christian, but these books don't have faith content in them, but you can see some of the Christian themes such as family or compassion, and I love seeing that in a story. So I thought she did really well with Poisoned. The next book that I read by Mary Mecham was To Defy a Dream, and this is a Sleeping Beauty retelling, and I really enjoyed this one. So this is part of the Shadow Tales, and this is a collection of, I think it's either 8 or 12, somewhere in there. It's a collection of short stories and novellas, and this was so good. The only reason I'm not giving it a full 5 stars is because it's a short story novella, and I wasn't able to get everything I wanted out of the book, but for a short story novella, it was so good. I kind of love this one more than Poison, which is shocking because I love Poison so much, but this one was just so good. Our main character, Aurelia, which is a great name replacement for Aurora, she was just so confident, and she had such strict plans and knew what she wanted and was gonna get what she wanted, but like the choices she had to make were the twists were good. I didn't really see it coming, I don't think. I love the romance. Typically I'm not a fan of the trope that was in this book, but it was really good, and I love Mary Mecham's epilogues. The one in Poison and To Defy a Dream are both really good and super interesting, and I love what she does with her epilogues and just wrapping it all up. It makes it super nice to just kind of see everything wrap up and see where our characters are, so I really enjoyed that and thought that was well done. But To Defy a Dream, the twist on this is, what if Sleeping Beauty meant to prick herself and she purposely put herself to sleep? And there's a whole dream world in this one, and There's a volcano, which is pretty cool. We see our character in more family dynamics, which I love seeing. I think Mary Mecham does really good in displaying family dynamics just based off the 2 books I've read, because they're just so rich in that family culture. But again, the romances are just so sweet, and the plots are epic. They are so big and grand, and you wonder how will it be done, and somehow she does it. And I really love seeing that. So if you haven't read a Mary Mecham book, you definitely should. Her books, from the 2 I've read, are really, really good. I want to read more of her books, and hopefully I will soon, but I love them. So again, I read Poison, which is a Snow White retelling, and To Defy a Dream, which is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. I think To Defy a Dream might be my favorite just because the romance dynamic in that book was amazing. There was flashbacks, there was just so many things that drew me to it. I love the plot, I love the whole dream world. But again, Poison was really good. So if you're looking for more fairy tale retellings, please check out Mary Mecham. The 2 books that I've read by her, I have absolutely loved. That is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope God blesses you today. I do my best to post Tuesdays at 12:30, and I'll see you next time. Bye.